Okay, my name is Scott Clayton. I'm the developer of Terraform, the terrain manipulation toolkit. It's an add-on for Blender for procedural terrain authoring. Um, yeah, and so I'm here to just walk you through different aspects of the add-on. Just give you an overall guide. Right now, we're just going to start with the installation. Okay, and so Blender, when you download Terraform, you're gonna get this file right here. You're gonna get, depending on the version that you got. This is the most recent version, 1.1.4. But that version number that'll reflect whatever version that you downloaded. But anyway, so you'll be presented with this zip file, and so what you're gonna want to do is extract it. And at that point, you'll see inside of it, this is going to take a second. It shouldn't take too long. It's going to depend on your hardware, how long it takes for your machine. But regardless, it shouldn't be all too long. It's a little over 1 gigabyte. So you're looking at probably maybe a minute at the most, something like that. But at a second, once you extract it, you'll see a single folder inside, and it's just labeled Terraform. And so this is a common confusion point. Is sometimes I get people to try to install just the Terraform full 1.1.4 zip. But that's not, you're gonna want to extract the folder from inside there, and what you want to install is just the plain, this is labeled plain Terraform. Here it is right here. Okay, and so you're just gonna install it like any other add-on. And so I'm just gonna go here. I already have it installed, but here I'm just gonna uninstall. And yeah, you're just gonna go to add-ons. Okay, there we go. You're just gonna go to add-ons, go to this little button up here in the corner, and do install from disk. And then you're gonna navigate to we downloaded and extracted just the plain labeled terraform.zip. Yeah, from that's right here. There we go, terraform.zip. And so I'm just gonna double click this, and you're going to want to give it a second. Again, it shouldn't take too long. The main reason that this part takes a little bit of time is because of the dependency installation. There's a couple different Python packages, modules that are packaged with Terraform as dependencies. These are SciPy, Numba, and what is the third one? I'm drawing a blank right now. Sorry, one moment. I'm drawing a blank right now. Well, here we can figure that out because we can just go and look at the dependencies right here. Okay, the other one is LLVM Lite, and that's part of Numba. Numba's used for JIT compilation or a just-in-time compilation. It's a process that compiles the code to machine code at runtime. So when the codes run, it compiles it to a faster running type of code, and so it provides a lot of performance improvements. SciPy is just a general scientific computing library that's frequently used in Python. And it just provides helper functions for a couple of the more advanced array mathematics and stuff like that. But here we're just gonna go ahead and wait for it to install. I guess this is a good time to talk about the overall workflow. When we'll get more into this in the next like subsequent videos. I'm going to break it down like one part at a time. But as you'll see pretty soon, there's 3 main sections to Terraform. I mean, I guess you could say 4. There's a global terrain management area, and that's where you're going to add and remove terrain grids from your scene. You can't Terraform doesn't work just on any old mesh. You need to specifically create a Terraform terrain grid, and you can do that through the interface. It's pretty easy. You'll see here pretty soon. But there's a global terrain management window where you can add and remove and select however many terrains you want, because you can work with multiple terrains in one scene. And so there's a global window, and then depending on what terrain you have selected from the global window, it's going to dynamically target the rest of the interface. It's going to be targeted at affecting that terrain that's selected in the global window. Um, and then, so other than the terrain selected, there's three main sections. There's the noise stack, which is meant for building up the base shape of the terrain, and it's primarily what you're going to do is it's mainly just manipulating and stacking or compositing different noise algorithms. There's four noise algorithms in total that come with Terraform at the moment. They're all unique in the sense that these are not available uh, by themselves in geometry nodes or in Blender by itself natively. Um, the noise stack is all about building up your base shape by stacking different noise algorithms together. That's also where you can freely mix in. You have a choice. If you don't want to use a noise algorithm for one of the layers, you can use a stamp layer, and so you can freely mix. Stamps are just the height maps that come pre-packaged with Terraform, and so you can add different pre-made height maps in there, and you can freely mix these different layers of height maps and noise and composite them in different ways together. There's noise modifiers. You can use domain warping, the multiple different types of filters. By filters, I mean they're standard filters from image processing, and at that point it treats the terrain array as an image, basically just as a height map, and then you can apply filters to that height map. Um, yeah, that's. I mean, like I said, we're going to go through this more in detail a little bit later. Um, and then after that, there's the modifier stack. That's where you kind of refine the terrain more into a natural shape, and that's where you find your erosion simulations, physics simulations, stuff like that. And then finally, there's the material stack, and that's where you're going to add texture layers to build up to add color and build up the material. Depending on how deep you want, you can keep it simple in the material stack. You can keep it relatively simple, but you can also go all out and build very complex multi-layered multi shader materials, um, all kind of grouped right there into the panel for you, and as you change them, the node graph is built in real time for you. It's built with our algorithms. It builds it for you in the background. um, but yeah, like I said, we'll get more into that in the next couple of videos. As you can see, Terraform's finished installing. It's going to come up with a warning right here, and it says warning policy violation with syspath/deps. Um, the reason for this is that's the deps, that's the dependency folder. Um, when you activate Terraform, when you install it, like I was mentioning, there's dependencies that get automatically installed for you. And so far, the most stable way I've found to get this done is to install those dependencies to an isolated independent folder, so it doesn't mess with, just in case you have these other packages maybe with different versions or something installed somewhere else in the Python distribution with Blender. I install them to just an isolated folder, um, and then I add that folder to the Python path, so that way the Python environment can has access to them. And then at the end, when you deactivate, whenever that is, when you deactivate the add-on, that folder gets deleted and taken and removed from the Python path. Um, but and so because of this, Terraform's the code is directly manipulating the file system. It's not doing it anything bad, or it's not doing it in a bad way, but still, that direct manipulation of the file system, from what I understand, is against Blender's policy. Um, and they don't stop me from doing this, but that's why it comes up and says policy violation. Um, but other than that, there's nothing wrong. It's not going to hurt your system. It's not going to do anything like that. And as soon as I can find a better, more stable solution that does not uh, um, raise a policy violation, then I will do that. I'm working on it currently, but at the moment, this is by far the most stable way I found to do it. Now that it's installed, you can see. Um, you'll have access to the side panel, and this is where the magic happens, so to speak. We're going to get into this into the next couple of videos, just as a quick demonstration. Once you add a new terrain grid, you get access to the 3 sections I was talking about, and that would be, here we go, and that would be this right here, the noise stack, modifier stack, and materials. Install Terraform. That's going to be your first steps you're going to take. I need to plug my laptop in. It looks like. Anyway, so that's about it for this video. We'll get into the more detail for the rest of the workflow here in the next videos. Yeah, thank you, and thank you for your support, and thank you for supporting Terraform. And I hope you enjoy it. And we'll see you in the next video.